Welcome back to another episode of High and Low Takes. I go by the name Ayo Mike. Let's just jump straight into it. Joe Schoen, the Hard Knocks review. Joe Schoen, we seeing behind the curtains now. We seeing what's really going on in the New York Giants organizations behind the curtains. We seeing the relationship between Daboll and Joe Schoen. And from what I'm seeing, it looks good. Never thought it would be a problem there. They both came from Buffalo together. But when it comes down to Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley, there seems to be some type of a little bit of static, but not amongst the coaching staff and the general manager or even the owner for that sake, but between, is this the right play to make or is this the right play to make? Is it keeping this player and getting rid of this player or is it keeping this player? And what we came down to see is just that it's just a simple matter of fact that what it is you going to keep down, are you going to keep Daniel Jones and build around Daniel Jones, or are you going to give Saquon Barkley that money with Daniel Jones already having that money? And that's what it came down to. So we seeing behind the curtains now. Now, Joe Schoen, one of the things that he looked at when he was talking to the Bills GM and talking to the Panthers GM, all of them started out as friends together and everything like that. The good old boy club, so they already had some type of relationship. You know what I'm saying? They already good with each other. They already cool with each other. They know each other. They making trades and flipping trades like that. I can do that on Madden. I can do that on my phone. Come on now. We can do trades like that all the time. That lets you just know how easy it is if you put in the work and you want to get to that level. But my thing of what I'm saying is this. They talked about the two first. Joe Schoen is no secret that he tried to get Drake May. They always deny it, but the reports came out from other teams during the draft time that they tried to get Drake May. They wanted to trade up to get Drake May, So, but but as you've seen inside of the actual Hard Knocks review, you see that in the end they were trying to trade back too as well. He asked the Bills GM, did you want to come up? He said, I can't afford it. He asked the Panthers. The Panthers was like, nah, they can't afford it, obviously. They gave theirs away, So that's what it comes down to. And then you see as well, you got to look at the Panthers general manager, and him talking, putting out that Brian Burns thing. It made Joe Schoen like, whoa, Brian Burns, So, and we already know that the Panthers tried to trade him before. So we got Brian Burns. It's going to be a beautiful offensive line. You got Dexter Lawrence. You got Kayvon Thibodeau. You got Brian Burns now, So, we got some more young pieces coming to fill in the other spots and stuff. You got Micah McFadden. You got Bobby Okereke. You got Deontay Banks, So we got a squad. You got Tyler Nubin, People always talk about Tyler Nubin, but you can't forget about Jason Pinnock too as well. And he been nice for us. So we got a squad on that defense right now. But with him getting Brian Burns, that obviously add to some type of depth on our defensive line, which was important, which is the move that we needed to make. Now, when it comes down to the quarterback situation, we seen Joe Schoen, we seen John Mara talking like, I feel like John Mara is really he's really stringent when it comes to this money. And I can understand. He's like, look, we didn't give Daniel Jones $40 million to him for him to hand the ball off to a $12 million quarterback. But the fact of the matter is this, Joe Schoen, you cannot, no matter what you do to Daniel Jones, he will not be Eli Manning. He would not be no top 5, top 10 quarterback in the NFL. I know Giants fans are split on this. Some Giants fans disagree strongly. Some Giants fans agree strongly. Man, there's a split between the fan base. It is what it is. So this is the thing that needs to happen. Daniel Jones is going to be his last year. Hopefully. I'm hoping this is his last year. No more Daniel Jones after this. We done. It's been 6 years. Are we really going to do this for 6 to 7 to 8 to 9 to 10 more years? Be in all of this lunacy? But people are always trying to criticize the Giants, saying things like, oh, they didn't get no draft. They ain't get no offensive lineman in the draft. How can they be serious about the offensive lineman if they didn't get one in the draft? You got to understand this. People don't know about the team. Even people that are Daniel Jones supporters and aren't Daniel Jones supporters, we really know the team. We know they drafted Andrew Thomas. Evan Neal. A lot of times when we draft the offensive lineman, it did not work out for us. So we got proven starters in free agency that we had to get. That's the reason why we couldn't get Saquon Barkley, of course. But I believe in paying on talent, not paying on position. Because you just paid on position with Daniel Jones, but it's going to be unsuccessful. And the thing is, when Saquon Barkley, if you would have paid on who actually was the driving force behind the team, you would be in a much more better position to succeed. People say, "Oh, quarterbacks is this," and that's my thing too. I heard Joe Schoen. Joe Schoen said something on the Hard Knocks review. He said something else. He said something else along the line too, as well, of saying something like Pat Mahomes couldn't throw behind the offensive line. Like, we get it. The offensive line has been horrible. They have not been consistent. Practice squad players, just different players from everywhere. We know it. We get it. We understand it. But all those sacks are not on the offensive line. There's been some on timing, some on Daniel Jones, some on the wide receivers, some on him throwing pick sixes. I mean, it just is what it is at this point. So you can't just put that all on the offensive line. Come on now, this is common sense. It's basic economics. 1+1 is 2. 1+1 is not 1. Come on now. 1+1 is not 1. I mean, it just is what it is. So my thing is this. I said that like I was unsure. But my thing is this, Terrence Howard. But my thing is this. We got to understand and put this thing into perspective. Daniel Jones, he needed the help. I get it. He needed the help. So we had to build around the offensive line. As much as I hate it, it's just a situation that we stuck in. But the thing is, Saquon Barkley was always being a good teammate. He went to our arch enemy rival. I feel like it's the Dallas Cowboys, then the Eagles. Some Giants fans say it's the Eagles, then the Cowboys, but to each his own. But the thing is this. We need a quarterback to succeed. Now, I think we're going to be a good 8-win team this season. Our defense has the potential to be top 5, at the minimum top 10 this season. Red zone can be number 1 defense. Our defense can be the number 1 red zone defense. But the thing is this. What is our offense going to do? Jalen Hyatt got better. I mean, we can see it. Like, when you see him, he look like he's more physical now. He look like he's more stronger now. Also, too, as well, Wan'Dale Robinson, Darius Slayton is back. Don't forget about Malik Neighbors. And that's the thing about Saquon Barkley. When Saquon Barkley left, Saquon Barkley was the number 1 team lead. He was a team leader in the locker room. He protected Daniel Jones. Who's going to protect Daniel Jones now? Because one thing about Malik Neighbors, as you can see, if you're not getting him the ball or you playing bad, he is not sugarcoating it for nobody. That's the thing about them LSU wide receivers. You got Odell Beckham sitting down with Lil Wayne giving an interview. You got Jamar Chase. When they wasn't playing good, Jamar Chase was telling the truth in Cincinnati. Justin Jefferson, I'm not really sure if he out his team like that, because he always getting the ball. He always putting up big numbers too. So the thing about it is, we got to understand and put this thing into perspective. If Daniel Jones don't play good, he's not just going to hear from his fans. He's going to hear from Daboll. Brian Daboll is not going to let that ship go down with him in it. It's going to be hell to pay. You got Brian Daboll. You got Joe Schoen. I think Joe Schoen is going to have a conversation if we start playing bad about his contract, reducing some money and things of that nature. I mean, you got to think about it. Daniel Jones has had 3 injuries in the last couple of years. A few injuries, probably more than that. I mean, the concussions, the ACL. I mean, he had different things that happened to him. And these all things that play against him, that does not work in his favor. And also, with his bad play, bad offensive line, the thing about it, he had a great running back he can hand the ball up to. I mean, he didn't have a great wide receiver he can throw to at the time. But if you think about it like this, if you just giving the ball away to the running back, you don't even got to stand up in the pocket. But the thing about it is, Daniel Jones, he's not good at making quick reads. He's throwing slants all the time. I mean, come on now. This it's like a check down. It's like check down Dak. But the difference between Dak Prescott and Daniel Jones is a lower version of him. But that's just what it is. Daniel Jones is taking up 20% of the salary cap. 20%. 20% of the salary cap. Now, that's the thing about it. If he's taking up 20% of the salary cap and he's not even 20% of the salary cap worthy to take that, what are we doing? His status is a question mark. That's literally what they said in Hard Knocks, that his status is a question mark. We see him behind the curtains now. We see him behind the scenes, BTS, all that type of stuff. I ain't talking the music group. We see him behind the scenes of what's going on. And that's the thing about it is, Daniel Jones has to prove it. There's no Saquon Barkley. You got Malik Neighbors. I don't want to hear just let him grow with Malik Neighbors now. He got an offensive line now. It's gonna be another excuse after another excuse after another excuse. And that's my thing too. Like that's my thing, man. Giants fans, we have to look ourselves in the eyes, look ourselves in the heart, and be completely honest. I heard somebody say in one comment say, you can't be a Giants fan if you don't support the quarterback. You can't be a Giants fan if you don't support the quarterback. That's what somebody said. They said you can't be a Giants. They said you can't be a Giants fan if you don't support the quarterback. But my thing is this. This is my thing. They said you can't be a Giants fan unless you support the quarterback. But the thing is this. If that player is bad, he makes the whole team bad. I believe in throwing out the weakest link. If you got a team full of strong people, you throw out the weakest link and you bring the next man up. That's what they do with the offensive line. That's what they do with the running backs. That's what they do with the wide receivers. That's what they do with the D-line. That's what they do with the linebackers. That's what they do with the safeties. That's what they do with the cornerbacks. That's what they do with the kickers. And quarterbacks should be no different. And people say, well, quarterbacks are different. And only way a quarterback is different if your quarterback is a future Hall of Famer and has been consistent throughout his career. The Steelers waiting on Big Ben to get healthy. I mean, come on now. Like, these teams will wait on your valuable starter to get healthy because you believe in him and you know he's the future. The Giants committed to somebody that they don't know is the future. What's hard? What's I don't get it. Why is that so hard to understand? How can you commit to somebody that you're unsure about his future? We're having conversations in Hard Knock. We're having conversations in the Hard Knocks about saying that Daniel Jones' status is a question mark. His ACL, concussions. I mean, come on now, man. This man's taking a beating. He's been beat down. And it's not like when he was healthy that he was good either. You know, you seen nothing to even give you that hope that can be the future. You see him run 80 yards down the field and trip over his own feet. I mean, what more is there to see? You see him throw pick sixes. It's just crazy at this point. Saquon Barkley is gone. He's with Philadelphia Eagles. We get it. You know, he's gone. You know, we gonna miss him. Some Giants fans say they hate him because he's going to the Eagles. I mean, somebody paying you more money than what you getting paid with at your regular job. I mean, my thing is this: you're gonna stay getting paid $70K a year, or you're gonna try to get paid $100K a year. I mean, I don't get it. It's just basic economics. And the Giants didn't value him, and that's just what it come down to. We did not value him. Joe Schoen did not value him. We didn't value him. Joe Schoen didn't value him. Brian Daboll didn't value him. And obviously, I would say the number one person that did not value him was John Mara. He believed so much in Daniel Jones because Daniel Jones, I'm going to call him Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones, Daniel Jones is in the lab at 5 a.m. He's the first one to come in and the last one to leave. But that doesn't produce anything on the field. People always say you can be the hardest worker, but if you don't got it, you just don't got it. That's why a lot of people become coaches. You know, that's why a lot of people become coaches. That's why a lot of former athletes that did not have it become coaches. And there's nothing wrong with that. Obviously, you were talented enough to play the position, you know, but you didn't reach that level or peak of what you desired your outcome to be. It's just what it is. And then we do, I mean, and we do appreciate, I'm pretty sure like Saquon Barkley appreciates Joe Schoen for not placing that $12 million franchise tag on him. He could have placed it on him, but he didn't place it on him. You know, so I'm pretty sure he appreciates not getting a franchise tag, letting Saquon Barkley test the market, giving us a chance to match. We're going to find out more in the next Hard Knocks about that, you know, but my thing is like, that's disrespectful, man. Like, come on now. Are we playing games? We franchise tag this man because Joe Schoen said his interest is in the best interest of the team. He said his interest is in the best interest of the team. That's true. That's your job as his general manager. But for Saquon Barkley, his job is in the best interest of his family. I mean, come on now. What are we talking about? So we don't have to root for Saquon Barkley because he played for the Eagles. You know what I'm saying? But he's still a Giant. Man, we threw his number out like it was nothing. This man kept us afloat for the last couple of years, man. Come on now. What we talking about? What are we talking about, man? It's I mean, we was looking at, like, that's the thing about it. You compare. That's the thing about it. They said that, hey, Patrick Mahomes couldn't do it behind this offensive line. Now I already said, some of that on the offensive line, some of that on DJ, some of that on the other players around him too as well. But mainly most of it is on the offensive line and Daniel Jones. It's not the fact that everybody can't get open. It's not that all the time. It's just that the man throwing bad passes, and then they not blocking for him consistently. So that's just what it is. So the thing about the Patrick Mahomes type of thing, everybody trying to follow this recipe because Patrick Mahomes had Isaiah Pacheco. Like they drafted Clyde Edwards Helaire and they didn't really need him like that. They got Jerick McKinnon. You know what I'm saying? They got just said his name. What I'm trying to say. So like they just had Isaiah Pacheco. So like they don't need some first round running back for Patrick Mahomes. But this thing is this: your quarterback is not Patrick Mahomes. Your quarterback is not Patrick Mahomes. Jalen Hurts don't need a top tier running back. Your quarterback is not Jalen Hurts. It just is what it is. When you have a top tier quarterback, you don't need a top tier running back. And running backs can be the best player on the team. Look at the Tennessee Titans. Who was the best player on the team? It wasn't Ryan Tannehill. And Ryan Tannehill is more proven and he is better than Daniel Jones. And I'm not a Ryan Tannehill fan at all. In fact, I would probably rather have Daniel Jones. Nah, I don't know. I don't think so. My thing is this. Derrick Henry was the leader of the Tennessee Titans. He was the best player on that team. And they paid him. No problem. Now, of course, he's not there no more. Things happen. Things change. He got a contract years ago. Time has passed. Saquon Barkley. We had Saquon Barkley. Now he's gone. So who are you value? You value who you pay. So, and it's also about who is the best player on the team. Who is the best player on that side of the ball, if you want to put it like that. The best player on that side of the ball. Who's valuable. Now, if Saquon go crazy on Philadelphia Eagles this year, that's an L on Joe Schoen Park. But that's only if we don't do good. If we don't do good, if the offensive line don't keep up. I believe our offensive line going to be better. We got proven offensive line starters. So we'll see what happens. We got Devin Singletary. Devin Singletary is a good back. He's not an average back. I would consider him a good back. He's a good player. So we'll see what happens with Devin Singletary. I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it. They was talking about Zach Moss, Devin Singletary, different running backs, DeAndre Swift, but we got Devin, so we should be pretty good. I mean, we'll see what happens. It's going to be a different running style, because we so used to Saquon Barkley being a one-hit wonder with his runs. I believe his injuries kind of messed him up, but I believe ultimately it was Pat Shermer that changed his whole running style, which affected him in his career. So I would say that. I also would say too as well with Devin Singletary, we're going to get a lot of clear holes. I feel like he's going to run through the hole a little bit more better than Saquon. Because Saquon sometimes he's always looking for the big run, but I think Devin Singletary would be I would consider him like a workhorse back. He'll be good for us. I really don't believe in Eric Gray like that. But I believe we have a good running back crew. I mean, I like the rookie we got. I believe his name is Trey. So we're going to be pretty good. One thing I like too as well about the Hard Knocks review is that we've seen the defensive coach come in. So we see Shane Steichen. We see that comparisons between him and Mike Vrabel. We know Mike Vrabel ran that defense, but with him and Shane Steichen, they had the number one red zone defense. So with him and Shane, like with Mike Vrabel and Shane, we know that they was two defensive masterminds working together. So we know that they ate off each other's plate. So we know that they both made each other better. So before I wasn't kind of high on Shane, but my thing is I think I changed my tune because I believe that Mike Vrabel is such a great defensive coach, that Shane Steichen learned from him. And I'm pretty sure Mike Vrabel learned from him. Number one red zone defense. They were in the top 10 of some things, and they also was in the 20s of some things, and also too the 10 to 20 range or something. So I believe we'll be better. Also, too, they never had a defense like our defense. I believe our defense is better than Tennessee Titans defense. So we'll see what's going to happen with there. We're going to see what's going to happen with them. One thing that is important, too, as well to watch out is seeing how Isaiah Simmons fit on this defensive scheme. We also got Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns. We also got Kayvon Thibodeau, Michael McFadden, Deontay Banks, Tyler Nubin, Jason Pinnock. I still believe in Trey. So, we're going to be good. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be good. I feel like we're gonna see what this defense is capable of. I believe it's top five, like I said earlier. So we see what's gonna happen. I believe in the Giants. I believe we're gonna do something. I believe we're gonna make some noise. Hopefully, in the next episode, we get to see that behind the scenes between them and Wink Martindale. I don't think that's gonna happen though. I think they probably, you know how John Mary is, Mr. Perfect. You know, I don't know what's going on with Mara. That's just my 2 cents, man. But look, it's another episode of High and Low Takes. I go by the name Ayo Mike, and I'm out.